men hate. I'm going to write it down. Number one, the first thing, and these are in no particular order, they're just the top 5. Emasculating or bossy behavior. Emasculating or bossy behavior. Some of you call it control. See, the thing of it is this. You ever been with a woman who wants to challenge a man? You know, I ain't gonna let him talk to me any kind of way. I'm not gonna let him talk. And you want to fight about everything. You want to control. You want to challenge him. You assume authority. And then no matter what he says, it's not good enough. This is called emasculation or bossy behavior. And because so many women out there have taken on the male role, the masculine energy, that masculine energy, you have assumed it in your home. And again, a lot of it is not your own fault because a lot of men aren't in place. However, you assume this energy. See, the truth is men and women have both masculine and feminine energy. Okay? We both have them. Yeah, Rhonda, I know. Unfortunately, yes, I have to talk about it. But look, masculine, what happens is we have a bit of both in us. It creates a balance in a person that helps the person thrive when they meet the opposite energy. So I have masculine energy and I have some feminine energy. Okay? My wife to my, yes, sir, about the masculine or the feminine. Watch yourself now. My wife in there, y'all, she ended up making cheesecakes. But anyway, but here's what happens to women. And many women are bosses now. They've assumed the male role and they've had to exert that masculine energy. The problem is that they don't know how to balance it or turn it off when you're in a relationship. So you bring over the bossy behavior. You bring over the controlling nature. You bring over all of the things that you use in your workplace. And so, but the man sees it as, I see my own energy when me and you beefing, when you trying to tell me how to do, when you talking to me like another man would talk to me, I see masculine energy. Why do you think, y'all, when two dogs get together, both of their tails are rising? Both of them, they walk around each other, sizing each other up. All that is masculine energy. Okay, but when a man encounters a woman and he's in a relationship with a woman, he does not want to encounter that masculine energy all the time. Hell, if he wanted to marry him, if he wanted to be with a man, he'd have married a man or he'd have been in a relationship with a man. And see, what happens to a lot of women is because they'll say it any kind of way. Like, well, you ever heard women say stuff like this? Well, I'm just going to say it. He can just deal with it how he want to deal with it. Okay. See, what you got to understand is many times this. Is the way you say something is as important as what you're saying. However, if you're using masculine energy and to say everything, and then let's talk about the emasculation part. The emasculation part is this. Whenever a man does something, it ain't good enough. Whenever he does something, you want to belittle it. You may not think you're belittling it. You may think you're helping him. However, the way you present it to him, because you might make more money than him, because you might say, well, I do this better than you, then you take over. You suppress his nature. When you suppress a man's nature, it's a form of emasculation. And a lot of women nowadays are making money. And nothing wrong with making money. Keep making it and send me some of it. But what happens is they don't know how to balance that energy, because you got to be masculine on the job. You're in corporate America. You got to be in this energy where you feel like so people could take you seriously. But then when you come home, you need to stop that. You need to balance that. You need to bring out more of your feminine energy. Okay, that's number one. First thing is men don't like emasculating or bossy behavior. That's number one. And you need to check yourself if you're doing it, because some of us you hide it by saying something like this. You hide it by saying something like, you know what? This is just the way I am. What Sima says, I have to be honest, I do this sometimes because I was raised by a single woman and I have to be masculine on the job. I agree, Sima. That's true. You might have to be on a job. But the thing is, you have to balance that Yes. And I agree, Brian. Men have to balance theirs as well. I want to do a show about that. But this one is geared toward the women, but you're absolutely right. We all have to balance that. We all have to. All right? We all have to balance that. I agree. You said I'm not bossy, but I do this. Okay. All right. All right, we'll get into that later. Men confuse masculinity with patriarchal and laziness. I don't confuse it. I don't know which men. Some men may confuse it. I don't confuse that. But some of them may do. I don't know. Number two. Okay. Number two, things that men hate. And this is true. Women hate it too, especially with the one they don't like. Here's the thing. Number two is asking him to be your everything. You know, when you're in a situation, you don't say it. No one should be your everything. That's too much responsibility. You get in a relationship, and what you're doing is many times people are looking to him. Stop making making I statements, sir. Hey, this is my show, Burr. I can make I statements. That's what I can do. That's what I do on this show. If you want to join me, come on. But look, anyway, get back to what I was saying. Byron always want to debate me. You want to debate me? Hey, look, you can come debate me. But in the meantime, getting back to what I was saying, when you asking a person to be your everything, and when you go somewhere, what you're doing is you're looking at someone else to be your happiness. You're looking at someone else to be responsible for your happiness. Are you going to meet at my mama's house? Are we going here together? And what happens is, because you're in a relationship and because you're wanting the person to be around you, and the more that person is around you, they validate you or affirm you. So what happens is you begin looking at the person as a source of your happiness. A person can never be a source of your happiness. And so thus we want them to be our everything. I want them to be my best friend. I want them to be my confidant, my soulmate, everything. And that's too much responsibility for any one person. See, here's the thing. A man wants to be a part of your world. He doesn't want to be your world. All right? And so what happened is you've given him way too much power. Way too much power. And not only have you given him way too much power, it's something that he doesn't want. See, the truth of the matter is, if you want to know you how to attract a man, what you want to do is, because men, we are insecure in many ways, is you keep a man on the periphery of your world. Well, what do I mean? You include him in some things, you don't include him in other things. All right? You tell him some things, you don't tell him other things. The more you do it that way, the more he wants to be a part of inside of your world. And so he wants to be a part of that world. He wants to be in the inner part of your world. And see, so many people, you give a man the inner part of your world and he has not earned it. He hasn't earned it. He hasn't been there. He hasn't passed the test. Yes, every man needs to pass the damn test. All of us need to pass the test. The reason I'm with my wife is because I passed the damn test. All right? And there is a test. And there's a test in 3 different areas. And I don't want to go into 3 different areas now, but I'll tell you one of them. It's the investment test. What is he willing to invest in you and the relationship? That's an investment test. There are other tests, but you ain't going to get that right here. You'll get it in my new program coming up in January. Yeah, boy! Woo! But they don't want to be everything in your world. And so here's the thing. Get this. Men are attracted to women who don't need them. You might say, what, Ken? Men are attracted to women who don't need them. Now that seems counterintuitive, doesn't it? Because a man wants to fix it. He wants to make it right for you, right? However, the thing is he gravitates to things that doesn't need him. Like if you say, well, I don't need you to do this. I'm not talking about Miss Independence. I'm talking about I don't need you for my emotional happiness. I don't need you for my financial happiness. I don't need you. Not that I have to flaunt everything that I have, but I am whole in myself. I am not fractured. I don't need more healing. Well, we all need more healing, but I'm not so much devastated where my world is apart and I need you to fix it for me. Okay? All right? So they always said pass the test. Hell, they still fighting about who gonna pay for the first date. Hey, he ain't the one then. He's not the one. Unless we both decide. You know, we going Dutch. We just trying to gather information. There is a time now. There is a time, and I will say this, because many of us are traditionalists, all right? God pays for the date. But that's not necessarily, just because we're traditionalists, that may be the way you do it, but that doesn't make it necessarily so. So what I always tell people is this: let's communicate. You decide. You decide as a couple. You know what? And a lot of guys are from old school. They say, well, I'm going to pay. I'm going to pay. And I keep paying. I'm going to take care. I'm going to take care. And what you're doing, you're making an assumption. You're making an assumption that the female is in a traditionalist role like you. And that's not necessarily so, y'all. We have to stop making assumptions these days. Now, me, if I take you out, if I were single, if I took you out on the first date, I'm paying. But that doesn't necessarily mean all people think that way. And what I'm saying is, we can communicate faster than ever, but we communicate less than ever. We don't talk about issues like that anymore. And so I want to create a platform where we can talk about them. Hey, y'all, I got something coming up. I got to give a little plug while I got y'all on here. I'm creating a response. If you would like something like this, let me know. I'm creating something where I'm going to have a team of people who know what they're doing. And I'm going to create a service called How Do I Respond? Tell me if y'all like this. So let's say you get emails, texts, you get IM, DMs, and you don't know how to respond. Well, with this service, we're going to show you exactly how to respond, what to say based on the goal that you want to get to. Y'all tell me if y'all like that or not. I'm thinking about doing it. I did it for one of my clients. It worked, but I got to figure out how to make it work in a business setting. But we're thinking about it. Team working on it right now. What do y'all think about how do I respond? All right, number 3. Number 3, I wrote this down. A man hates constantly evaluating the relationship. Okay, let me tell you what this is. You constantly evaluating the relationship, asking, where are we? Where are we going? See, y'all, first of all, that's the worst. I cannot even enjoy you without enjoying whether or not I'm being tested, reviewed. Why do you think they only have reviews for a job once or twice a year? Because it's too much stress. And what a lot of ladies do is because their need to be in a certain place, need to fulfill this fantasy in their head, they're constantly evaluating. Where are we? What are we doing? Where are we at? Where are we going? And where are we going? What is the relationship? Do you still love me? I mean, constantly. We're constantly evaluating. Men hate that. Now, ladies, you would hate that too from a guy that you wasn't really that deep into, wouldn't you? If he always said, well, what are we doing? Why are we? And I'm not saying he's not that deep into you, but men and women evaluate relationships a little differently. And what I'm saying to you is the constant evaluation, the constant doing this, the constant asking the questions, where we are, where are we going, what are we doing, all of that. Now, there is a time and place for that. There is. Now, if you've been in a relationship over a certain amount of time, yeah, because we do lie. We do lie. But you have to do it in the right way, though, Shauna. You know you got to do it in the right way. There's a way to do it and a way not to do it so it doesn't become a turnoff. Okay? Because some people, I know some people, and I coach them constantly, all the time, every week. What are we doing? Where are we going? What are we doing? You still love me? You like me? No, you didn't call me. And because you didn't call me, you know, they always says, if you have to ask, the answer is no. No response is a response. Now, let me say this. That's true and not true. Because sometimes you're in a relationship and the man doesn't necessarily know where it's going. He's not evaluating every day whether I'm going to be with this woman or not. Remember what I told you, and this is what you should do. Remember, there are only 2 things you're doing. You're collecting and connecting. You're collecting data. When you go out on dates, when you're dating somebody, you're collecting data to determine if you can connect with them, if you can connect emotionally, if you can connect physically, if you can connect. See, that's what a man is trying to determine. I just put some lingo and some science behind it. But women have this fantasy many times, and they're working toward that fantasy. They have not collected enough information to know if they can connect with this guy. They don't collect and connect. All they want to do is they just want to feel good. You just want to feel better. And then you feel better temporarily. This guy who calls you all the time, the cat that's, you know, hey, sugar, oh, beautiful, you're looking good this morning. I hope you have a wonderful day. And you think that it's connecting, but it's not connecting. Connecting is about finding out the person's values, core value system. What do they stand for? What do they stand against? All of those things. And then you can know. But female women are so concerned about their emotions in terms of, oh, he makes me feel good. That your emotions will deceive you. I promise you. When I teach people in my new class, I'm going to teach them how to ask questions to collect data to determine if you can connect with them. The two C's. Two C's, C squared, baby. Collect and connect. And so instead of evaluating all the time, constantly evaluating, are we together? Are we not? You love me? Okay. Was it good to you? Okay. Was I better than everybody else? I'm just saying, you know, I don't want to get graphic this week of Thanksgiving. Christmas. I started to say something real graphic. But y'all know me. Y'all know me by now, whatever. I've done 160 episodes. So y'all know who I am. Those are top three. Number 4. Biggie. Number 4. Too much insecurity. Y'all, let me say this. There are two things going on. There's one that's called your pain brain and your power brain. Part of it is your pain brain is the part that reminds you of all the pain you've had. All of the pain you've had when you were young. Whether it's molestation, whether it's guys cheating on you, guys taking advantage of you. Your pain brain says, nope, don't get in that relationship. Or nope, that looks like he's cheating on you because he didn't call you back in exactly 6 minutes. You text him 6 minutes ago and he did not call you back. He is cheating on you. That's what your pain brain says. And you don't consult your power brain that says, you know what? I trust him until you give me a reason not to trust you. But because we've experienced so much trauma and we have so much insecurity, what we do is we look for the man to quell the insecurity. Listen to me carefully. When I hear people say, you know what? You're making me insecure. No, nobody's making you insecure. Insecurity came with you. What happens is that you just put it on display. And so here's the thing, y'all. Insecurity is something you need to deal with because there's something in you that is insecure about you. Now, I do know there are situations where people are doing things, but that's another thing. If he's doing something, that means that, and you overlook it, or it may not be because of insecurity. It might be because of, I've seen this before. I've seen this behavior before. You know what? Ray did that to me. So I don't trust nobody. You did it. Okay. Then if you don't trust anyone, then you shouldn't be in a relationship at all. Because every relationship boils down to trust. Now, I'm not talking about blatant disrespect. I'm not talking about such, and you have intuition for a reason. And intuition is going to tell you certain things. I'm not talking about disregarding that. I'm not. I am talking about just looking at what it is you're doing. Is this place coming from my pain brain? Okay? Or is it true? Or what I'm saying, is it truly not insecurity or something's going on? And what we don't do, many ladies don't evaluate the two. Okay? And a lot of things we say, do, express, a lot of how we communicate is based on insecurity. Okay? And insecurity is toxic, y'all. It's like the cancerous seed that grows when you don't want to deal with it. And a lot of it boils down to when we were young. I get it, but we need to heal first we need to heal that. We need to find out. A lot of women tolerate stuff because they don't believe they can have better. They don't believe they deserve better. And that's what I'm working on with a lot of my clients now. And thus, because you don't believe you can have better but deserve better, then it manifests itself in anger. It manifests itself in frustration. All of those things, that's how it manifests itself. But you've never dealt with the insecure things that have gone on in your life. Why you feel the way you do about yourself. And this new thing I'm doing is I call it the self-evaluation. And it's all about things like self-acceptance, self-awareness, self-reflection, self-love, and all of those things. And what happens when you go through the stages, you realize where you're stuck at. You realize that I'm stuck at self-acceptance. And the truth is, if you're stuck at self-acceptance, how can you expect somebody else to accept you wholly if you don't accept you wholly? Oh my God. That's deep right there. That's showing enough deep right there. You can't expect somebody to accept you completely if you don't accept you completely. Right? Right? It's true. And the last thing is this. Number 5, ungratefulness. Ungratefulness. I don't care if your last boyfriend bought you a Bentley. Damn it, I bought you a rose. I bought you a bushel of roses that I picked out in the yard because I ain't had the money to buy you a dozen. I might didn't have the money, but I went outside and invested my time. See, that's what women get it wrong. The investment test is not based on money alone. It's based on everything. Money, time, effort. But I went out and picked you 12 roses. And now he bought you the Bentley or whatever, but those things cost me more. It's not about, listen, it's not about what I paid. It's about sacrifice. Equals sacrifice. Whose sacrifice was the most? It's kind of like, you know, in the Bible when the lady had the little bit of money and Jesus said your sacrifice, her sacrifice was bigger than all y'all. They may have put more in there, but her sacrifice was greater. And so what I'm saying to you is look at his sacrifice. And when you display ungratefulness, it won't be long before he's out. It won't be long before he's out. Y'all, look at the sacrifice. I'm not talking about the joker. I'm not talking about the joker to pick up the card on the day of. I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about the dude that had to get off, or he had to make a call, he was in a meeting, and he did this and this, and he had to make that happen. And what I'm saying to you is ungratefulness is a seed. It's an insidious seed that manifests into resentment. When you are ungrateful, that's what I love about my wife, y'all. I can do the smallest things, like today. Like today, she making cheesecakes, right? We get these cheesecakes out. She done sold out of cheesecakes, so we ain't making no more cheesecakes, y'all. We sold out. So anyway, so I knew she was hungry. So I said, I went out, I had to do some meal package. We selling our game, y'all. I had to mail out all those games today. And then I said, my wife is hungry. Let me go by and get her a Biscuitville Club, Chicken Club sandwich, okay? I know that Chicken Club sandwich gonna mean a lot to her. It cost me, what, $2 and some change? But to her, it was big. And so what I'm saying is, I had to go out of my way to get it. I had to drive. I went to Home Depot, went to other place. I had to drive and go get it, wait in that long-ass line at Biscuitville. But the sacrifice, because I had somebody waiting here, waiting on me, but she knew the sacrifice was great. Oh, she was like, oh, baby, oh, what can I do for you? I know. But look, y'all, that's what I'm saying. You're right, it's the little things. But ungratefulness, y'all, ungratefulness is a big thing. All right, look, that's my time. All right, y'all, I got y'all on. So nobody responded to my thing nobody responded to my my thing. What about the thing I'm gonna offer? What would you say? You don't think it's a good idea? If you don't, you ain't gonna hurt my feelings. Nobody responded to it, but that's fine. Let me know if you think it's a good idea or not. How do I respond? Because a lot of times y'all don't know what y'all doing. All right, last things first. Our game. This is my last week promoting these. We done sold out. We done got a new shipment in. Y'all know this is our Moment of Truth game. Rhonda, you played last night? Which one did you play? Did you play the regular game? So this is the regular one, y'all. How you get to know people. And then we have the sex version. So y'all know every week up until Christmas, I'm going to read just a couple of them. All right, so a couple of them from the real game. What about this one, y'all? I got a good question. Here go one. Your spouse took money you were saving together and used it for a business venture that failed without telling you. You would A, say it's okay, we all make mistakes. B, leave your spouse because he or she is deceitful. C, stay with your spouse if they agree to be removed from the account. Or D, find items of theirs to sell to replace the money. All right. Whichever one, what would you do? What would you do? That's our classic game. What it does, y'all, it helps you find out about the other person. You played the regular game? Okay. So look, all right, if you're interested in these, go to Grand Canyons. I put the link down there. Or I can send you a link. Both of the games, you get a deal when you do both of them. But the Moment of Truth games, and what we want to do is simply this right here. Courtney, shipped your game out this morning. It's on the way. All right, y'all, if you're interested in the games, let me know. All right, y'all, that's my time. I'm going to be with y'all every day this week, except for, now I'm going to be with you Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Well, Christmas Friday. I'll be with you 4 days. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. All right? All right. Perhaps you could call it, how do I respond? That is the name of it. How to respond. Oh, how to respond. I like that. Thanks, Elise. I appreciate it. All right, Angela, I'm going to send you the link for the games. I will. Y'all played 3 last night. Yes! So I'm talking about. A lot of, hey, look, a lot of questions in there. A lot of stuff that make you think, y'all. Make you think. All right, Angela, I will send you the link. And y'all, thank you so much. I appreciate y'all. Until tomorrow. I will see you tomorrow. Listen, remember, every journey starts with one step. Take yours today. I'm out.